Hello, YouTubers. Troz here. Back playing some Kerbal Space Program. It's been about a day and a half or so since, in game time since the previous recording. Night had fallen, or night fell on the moon. Something in orbit there. And we're still able to mine out some ore due to our large batteries. We still have a little under half our power left, but we do have over 500 ore. So at this point, I am going to re-enable these ore containers down here. And we don't have very good vision, but I'm gonna disable. There's the other one. These ore containers. So we want to bring back ore, but we want to be as light as possible. So this says like 278. We both have like 278. It's like a little more than we need, but I think transferring may be a problem. Let's offset the camera here a little. If I say out, well, that's 248 now. Wrong button. That was Shift, not Alt. If I say out, well, in stop. A little more than we need, but that's fine. And we have extra at the bottom, which is what we want. Now, because hopefully that will help with weight and keeping us our well, not the decoupler, but we have a heat shield there. How are we doing? Oh, it is like literally the middle of the night. So we may wind up running out of power before morning, since we only have like a third of it left at this point. I'm going to time warp until morning here, and then we can attempt a liftoff. Yeah, this is the rate I was fast forwarding, and yeah, we are going to run out of power. The lights will go out momentarily, and everything shuts down. Nights are long on the moon. Looks like, oh, here we go. Sun is back up, and we are charged again. I wanted to catch that a little earlier, but oh well. We're going to start the harvester again. Turn the lights back on. So we're getting enough power. Just over the mountaintops, apparently. We also have... Well, no, we don't also have... Yeah, we do have these little solar panels, but those are mostly for maneuvering in space. when we had these retracted. Talking about maneuvering in space, we are we never hit start research here. Well, we're researching now. That would have just used up even more power, and we wouldn't have been able to mine. Let's check out our crew, and to me, the easiest way, we have 2 scientists in the processing lab, an engineer, and a pilot, and they're in storage. We're going to take Vericca here, our ace pilot, and let's tilt up a little. We're going to transfer her to the little command module here. And I'm just going to quick save just in case. You see we're wobbling a bit. Alright, let's get this back up here. And we're going to try heading home. No, we're not. Apparently, these tanks were used first. Even though that crossfeed is theoretically disabled there. So let's refuel. That we should have enough for. I'm going to say out and out. And that's the small tank. And we have this larger tank as well. That we should have no trouble filling. This isn't running yet, no. And you know what? I totally forgot that doing that stops the transfer. But there we go. We still have just about 80 units of liquid fuel in the lander, but it can produce more. I think we're about ready. Let's just quick save once more. And, well, I hope this goes well. If I say control from here, hopefully when I stage, I'll be controlling that. We want to head east, which is this direction. So let's do that in 3, 2, 1. Alright, we do have enough power to lift off, which was the only thing I was afraid of. We don't need to go high, we just need to get going horizontally pretty well, pretty quickly. About 500 meters per second or so. Put the gear in for now. Let's look at the map. Nose up a little bit. You don't want to be hitting the surface. Alright, we're about halfway to orbit. Orbital speed at least. And I'm going to cut there. To do this efficiently, you want to be at your apoapsis, and it was getting away from us, which is fine. Another 62 meters per second. It's going to be close. Let's roll a little bit. Got 2 minutes until this burn. We got a single solar panel and a battery. As of right now, we're not really using too much electricity. That's a nice little valley there. Let's time warp a little bit. We're gonna be okay, I think, height-wise. Alright, we're getting just about ready to burn. I'm going to start at 10 seconds. We seem to be on the mark. 5 seconds go. That's perfectly fine. Running low on fuel, but I'm hoping we can make it. All right, this is the killer. Reset. Add maneuver. And let's bring this around so we're heading as much as possible backwards when we exit. And we want to just barely exit at that, which means, hey, that's actually going to be a pretty soon burn. 200 meters per second. I'm not quite sure we have that. and we're going to need a little more beyond that. 30-second burn. Well, let's find out. Alright. We are about 15 seconds away. Pretty much on the mark. Doing okay on electric. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna say we don't have the thrust. Not at the rate we're burning. Yeah. Alright, with the mass of this thing, I don't think we're going to have the fuel to actually fly this home. So we're going to need to boost it up. It's going to be quite interesting. We can use this lander to get it into orbit. But that means generating fuel. I'm going to wait until we have, let's say, doubled our ore to like 1,500. Because that will be at least 1,000 ore then to convert to fuel. So we can time warp. Why are we actually if we extend that, is that going to... Yes, the thermal efficiency is increasing, so let's extend that. I just hope it doesn't go too low, but we're mining quicker now, which is what we want. I think it's going to continue to decrease in temperature, but it is generating heat. Oh. Okay. Not sure why that is. I would expect it to cool down till it reaches some equilibrium point, not magically just stop at the optimum temperature, but hey. We're mining as efficiently as we can. See, we're getting a few ore a minute. Let's tap it up one more. Alright, and we're getting close, so I'm gonna now. We want liquid fuel and oxidizer. So this is using the ore quicker than we are mining it. But not too much quicker. And it does look like we are not using any ore from our top tanks. They still have the same amount. Not sure what happened there, but I'm going to stop this when the lower tanks get close to being 0. Although I don't think it will remove any from the upper tanks since we told it not to. Generating more electricity than we're using, which is good. Okay, it isn't using any from the top tanks, that's what I was afraid of. But it is now immediately converting it, let's say, to liquid fuel and oxidizer. We almost have our fuel tank. Fuel tank? Yeah, our fuel tank full. Okay, let's stop that. Let's start some monopropellant. And I'm actually, since it's still daylight, it'll be harder to maneuver, but I'm going to fill our ore up as well. That way, I'm not sure how much fuel we're going to use getting back into orbit, but we can get the lander into orbit, make more fuel, and then have this go home, and we can then use that additional fuel to land again at a new location and get more research. You know, while we're here at a good location for ore, it makes sense to collect as much as we can, even if we don't wind up using all of it. Yes, we have, it looks like 507 on here, that works out math-wise, which is just over the 500 we need to return. Alright, let's just go for this. Stop. So we don't need you running as we take off, using up all our electricity or much of it. If we do start seeing the sun, though, I'm going to take off, although that doesn't look to be the case. Oh, we stopped because we're all full. The extra space is just the empty space. In here, the sun looks... yeah, it's almost overhead. Alright, we are... could have just looked at the solar panels. Let us stop and retract. Stop and retract. Let's retract the radiators. And in fact also close the large solar arrays so nothing happens to them. Okay. We got our little flag here. I think we're all set to get into orbit. So let's burn in 3, 2, 1. Barely lifting off. pull our gear up and let's head over. Now, this is a lot heavier and our thrust to weight is much closer to 0, so I'm not going to turn all the way over yet. Now we're doing pretty good. I think we can head over more. Something like that. We're gonna go up to at least, well, 5,000 or 6,000. So we know we have the time to get going horizontal. We're actually using quite a bit of fuel. But, we should be, yeah, we'll get into orbit. And we'll still have fuel left. Maybe not enough for landing, but hey, that's why we brought the ore with us. Alright, I think we're starting to head back down again. Or just... yeah, we are. That's going down. That's below. But we are really close to reaching orbit. Something like 550 meters per second. Yeah, in fact, I think we're going back up again. These mountains do look pretty close, though. Yeah, we got about a third of our fuel left, and that should be orbit. Oh, wow. Leave it for a second, and our periapsis went up to like 20 kilometers. Okay, how do we want to do this? Cupola. What do you mean no crew on part? Oh. There we go. Okay. Transfer crew. Who was our, Rayemy. Alright, we have a pilot here. Let's bring this back. I think we're ready to go. So, say goodbye, Vericca. cut the fuel there. Add maneuver. And we don't need to be nearly as careful. Because we have an extra 500 delta V. So let's time warp here. The only thing we do have to be careful with is switching back and raising the periapsis of the ore return. It's below 5 kilometers, which can theoretically hit the tops of certain mountains on the moon. So we'll want to raise that up before completely departing here. Alright, we are about 30 seconds from our burn. Actually, less than that. I'm going to start about 16 seconds. And, it should be a little over 30-second burn. And 3, 2, 1, go. And that's about our burn there. Okay, let's... A little too far to switch. At least using the square bracket keys. So how are we doing here? We'll want to add a maneuver here that just raises the periapsis. This should be more than plenty. While we're out here, I'm going to extend 2 of the panels. And make more fuel. Not sure how long this will take. It takes a few hours, obviously. It is heating up though, and it apparently works the best at about 1,000 degrees Kelvin. So let's fast forward here a bit. And I'm thinking of making this a longer episode, just so I can get the landing in as well. Alright, we're going to run out of solar power, but we do have the batteries, and in orbit, we don't have the same issue we had on the ground. The orbit will definitely make it past, or make it back into the sun before we run out of power. There goes the power. Although maybe not. I was talking about with just the drills. The fuel production obviously takes quite a bit more. We got a burn in about 30 seconds. We'll have power till then. The engine will produce power, but will probably run out after the burn at some point. We got more than a minute's worth of power, I should say. Let's turn on RCS just to help us a little here. Burning about 20 a second, but we have, well, 3,000. Burn time. Cut. Not sure how close that is to what we wanted. 24 to 28 is perfectly fine. Showing the return ship not leaving. Which may be a problem, but we'll switch back to it and see how things go. Gonna turn us so our solar panels are vertical, which will let them track the sun the best. Alright, something like that. Turn off RCS. Let's switch back to the return ship and get it home. Okay, you are showing as leaving in just over 3 hours. So let's do that. We doing great on fuel this time. The first time was really just a test. I was hoping we'd have enough fuel, but obviously not quite. Maybe if that's a smaller tank, if I had two of this size tank instead of one smaller one, it would have been enough fuel. It would have been more weight, so well, it would have helped. Probably would have been enough at that point, but everything. I guess, you know what? I did ship those empty to save weight, so it wouldn't have been that much extra weight initially. Just the lift off from the ground would have been more weight. Anyway, can't change that now. We got it back into orbit. We'll just have to re-land that ore supply ship, and we can actually get that contract over here if we... It's not too far off our orbital path. Anyway, we're headed home now. Alright, there we go. Let's plan a maneuver. It's in a minute, which doesn't give us too much time, but that's fine. Let's do something like that. And we need to bring this down to about, I'm going to say 40 kilometers, because I want to come in as easy as possible. It's for 400 kilometers. And here we come in 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 41, 30, well, 38. 38's fine. let's get ready for this maneuver. Let's say retrograde, because that's exactly what we want. And let's burn now, because it's going to be a while. To cut just before, and I think we're at, well, we're just above 40. 39.5 is great. Okay, let us get in close. We still have about a third of our fuel left now. The boost off the surface really helped. We're actually charging up with our solar panel facing the sun. We're going to come in on the dark side, and, well, the Space Center is about here, so we're going to pass it by. 39, I think, is not going to be low enough, at least initially, but we'll make a pass or two. Probably should have had a drogue chute on here. Now that I do have a drogue chute pair on here. Let's put them out first. No, that was not the drogue chute pair out first. Alright, that's not what I wanted either. That's a little scary. The drogue chutes seem to have disappeared. I may have to manually fire them. I believe the speed is something like 350, where these are 250. Anyway, let's get this in. I didn't want to actually take a whole hour. I was hoping for 45 minutes, but we're about there now. Let's see if we can get this in the next 5 minutes or so. We are going pretty fast. We are hitting the atmosphere. I'm going to try slowing down a bit while pointing upward, so we don't really change our periapsis too much. Probably went up too much. Battery's not looking too good, but hopefully it stays intact. We are going back up. And we have brought our orbit in quite a bit. So I did kind of expect to go through the atmosphere once by going at this height. But we don't really seem to have slowed down actually that much. Well, our heat shield did shield us. Something did blow up when we staged. Not sure what it was. We still have our... They're showing back up now, so that's good. And in just a moment here, we'll be able to time warp normally. I'm going to say, hey, face retrograde. Alright, let us time warp. And actually going to come out of time warp just for a second here, so... Well, that didn't help too much. How about now? There we go, our solar panel is now roughly facing the sun and we're recharging. Now I'm gonna stop about 100 kilometers up, so we can reorient before re-entering. Of course, that's going to use a bit of power, but yeah, we're going to hit the atmosphere again about 2,700 kilometers a second. And here we go again. How are we doing now? We'll probably... Yeah, we're going to be passing over Kerbal Space Center just as... Well, if we do come down this time, it will be about where we'll be coming down. But I'm not sure we will be coming down this time. We need to cut about 600 meters per second, and I'm not sure we're going to be slowing down quickly enough for that. Probably a bit hard to see, but this is water, and that is the continent that the Kerbal Space Center is on. We have stopped picking up speed and are slowing down now. At least, I mean, we've been slowing down the whole time. It's just we're also falling. So they kind of offset, but we're losing energy, definitely. That's why you see the nice light display around our spacecraft. No temperature meters this time, which is a good thing. There's the Space Center, and we are quite high above it. I think that's the Space Center. It's somewhere along this coast, but I think it's there. No, I am completely wrong. We're not even up to that coast. That's a little jut out of the end of the desert. Like, that jut kind of looks like it, but I didn't think it was so close to the water. We're heading back up. That's the continent that the Space Center is on. And I don't think we lost nearly enough speed. There's where the Space Center is, and we're going to be exiting the atmosphere at that point. How are we doing? We came in 150 kilometers or so. I'm actually not sure how far our apoapsis was. Let's say prograde. Alright, let's charge this up. Time warp, and then say retrograde. What does that light mean? I'm not sure what that light means. Just sort, come on. I don't think I've ever noticed it before. Alright, we're going to hit the atmosphere again. Right about now. I'm going to time warp here because this is taking a lot longer than I expected. We're under 40 kilometers, but not too much, and we're heading back up again. Used about a third of our ablator so far. It seems to tell me we can only make about 5 or 6 more passes before we start really having problems. Let's go to normal time warp. Came in a bit. Not as much as I would like. Hopefully we are also lowering our periapsis, and so we'll slow a bit more on each pass. Alright, we're in the atmosphere again. Let's do physics time warp. Heading back up. Heading out. At under half our ablator. But again, there's not much I can do at this point. Alright, we're out of the atmosphere again. Not really bringing that in enough. I think we're going to run out of ablator before we run out of speed. We're running out of episode here. There's the Space Center. Now on the other side of the planet. Alright, we're entering the atmosphere again, and I'm going to try something. When we get down to 45, I'm going to try nosing down, hopefully lower our periapsis. In fact, let's start from here actually. I'm going to rotate this just so it's a little easier. There's supposed to be lifting body effects, so this, I'm hoping, is pushing my periapsis lower. So instead of like 39, hopefully, well, I'm hoping I can get it as low as possible. 35 would be great. I want to be careful, though, not to heat things too much here. Things cool off for a second or three if they get too high. No. We're showing 39, it's still going down. Ooh, that was really close there. Well, 38 doesn't seem to have made a real difference. And going back up again. We have lost a quite good bit of speed. The thing is, I don't think the ablator will last more than one more pass. So any extra speed I can bleed off at this point is great. We need to bleed off about 300 meters per second more. And we should get captured. Well, I don't think we're having any additional effect now, but I don't think it hurts. We got well, about 10 kilometers to go until we're out of the atmosphere. I don't really think we're causing additional drag at this point, though. How's our let's roll over, and well, that's not getting us any power either. That should be good. Just a little is enough. How? Alright, that did come in quite a bit that time. And our periaps dropped a bit as well. Alright, here we go, hopefully for our last pass. Alright, let's slow down the time warp a bit and begin working on getting slowed down and lowering our periapsis. We got our periapsis down to 36, 35. Still need to drop about 200 meters per second. 34. Ooh. We are coming in. Hopefully our blader will hold out. Not sure that it will, though. It's getting quite low. We're still going quite fast. Well, we're out of a blader. Hopefully the heat shield will still help. It's just heating up now. We are, though, beginning to slow down. And if we can get under 1,000, I think we'll be good. Alright, we are still going really quickly. Okay, and our drogue chutes really saved us there. Here goes the rest of the parachutes. Oh, and we don't have the landing legs. I thought I put the landing legs on there. That was probably what blew off the landing legs. Alright, that's relatively flat. Oh, let's slow down. Okay. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. Good thing I didn't recover quickly. I was considering it if we were going to tip over, but hey, we maintained stability for 10 seconds. We got that contract done. Let's recover the vessel. First time I ever ran out of a blader. Not much science. Not much funds. I should have checked where we were. Pretty far. We got Vericca back, though. It says 5 XP gained, but I don't think... I think Vericca just had 5 XP. Okay, I'm gonna call that an episode. Let's just check here. We got 284,000 funds, and is that reputation? I think that's reputation, yeah. Because that is science. So that's good. We were actually used up quite a bit of funds in our last few missions. Between going to the moon a few times, trying to recover that fuel tank, and things like that. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with more Kerbal Space Program. See you then.